is enough said.
Happy Thursday, Heat Nation. Yo, boy Ernest here. Back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Guys, don't forget to show support. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Click that notification bell. And just a reminder, today's the final day to vote my toddler, Maya, for Toddler of the Year. We all get a free vote. I'll leave the link in the descriptions. I'll pin it in the comments. Take time, vote. It's in the second round and she's still first place. So I appreciate everyone's support. Now that we got that out the way, please join me as we go on another Miami Heat Talk adventure. Because in today's episode, you guys, I want to piggyback on this Trae Young situation that's going on. For those of you that clicked the thumbnail, you know what we're talking about. We're talking about the possibility of the Miami Heat getting Trae Young. Now, look, I'm going to say this right now before the episode starts. This is not a rumor that's reported. This is just something I want to talk about. I want to ask you guys, and I want your opinion, if you think Trae Young would be a good fit on this team, and who would you need to move him for? And the reason why I'm saying that, you guys, is because 2 days ago, ESPN insider Mark Spears reported that Trae Young is disappointed that the Atlanta Hawks have not offered him a contract extension. The disappointment is reportedly evident in Young's social media activity and comments. If a contract extension is not offered, Trae Young may opt to play out the final year of his deal and test free agency next summer. Trae Young right now is making $46 million for the 2026 season. He has a player option for $48.9 million for the 2027 season. Now, as we all know, and Trae Young is reported, he's qualifying for a 4-year, $228 million contract extension. So, I mean, I understand why Atlanta hasn't given it to him, you guys. It's not that he's a bad player. I mean, when you look at his numbers, you guys, he had an excellent season last year. He averaged 24 points a game, 11 assists, 40. Now, he did average 41% from the field. Not great. 34% from the three-point line. I mean, that is his career average, 87% from the field. But, man, I'm looking at that 11.5 assists a game because this is a guy who's a point guard that can not only score on his own, hit the three-point shot, but the dude is an amazing facilitator. He is a natural point guard. I'm not going to say he's Steph Curry level, but when he was drafted, that was kind of the mindset that people thought. But dude is an excellent facilitator. He's not known for great defense, but he averaged 1.2 steals per game. He played 76 games last year with Atlanta. When you look at his career, games played for the most part, he's there. He's played 76 games multiple times, 81 games. He's had a few seasons where he hasn't really played that much, but dude is hella durable, 26 years old, so he meets the timeline. Now, the reason why I'm talking about a potential trade for Trae Young, you guys, is because he may be available for trade this season. And with that report from Mark Spears saying, if he's going to play out the remaining of his year and test free agency next season, we know how NBA teams are. They do not want players to just go in the open market and lose them for nothing. So there's a possibility, if they can't get this figured out, you guys, where they trade Trae Young mid-season. And I don't really know why Atlanta would do that, because they just traded for Kristaps Porzingis. They have a really well-balanced team to surround Trae Young. And I know people will think, Atlanta's not going to waste that. But remember, you have the new NBA collective bargaining agreement. You have the first and second apron lines. Teams do not want to go into the second apron if they don't have a championship contender. Look at what Boston did. Boston was willing to eat all those luxury taxes because they had a championship team. But the moment that Jason Tatum went down, they didn't blow it up, but they moved big pieces from the championship roster. For Kristaps Porzingis, they also traded Drew Holiday. They did everything they could to get under the apron lines. And you saw it with Dallas last year when they traded Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis. Guys, this is the way the new NBA is going from here on out. Teams are going to move players because they don't want to eat that huge tax bill. A lot of these owners are rich. They're billionaires, but they're not looking to just throw their money away. I don't think that's the case. So if Trae Young becomes available, what do you give up for a Trae Young? Because here's the thing. If Atlanta can't figure this out with Trae Young, and let's say they're not having such a good season next year, they're definitely going to look to move Trae Young. I know what Atlanta's doing right now. Atlanta's doing the same thing that Miami did last year with Jimmy Butler. And for people to say, pay the man, it's not that simple. These new apron lines, you guys, are screwing teams. So what Atlanta's going to do next season is they're going to see how this team does. And then if they're doing good, if they're having a good run during the season, I'm sure they're going to negotiate an extension with Trae Young. I'm guarantee that. There's a cutoff time with that, but during the season, I'm sure they'll have a handshaking agreement where Trae Young will get his extension and re-sign. But if it doesn't, I'm sure Atlanta's going to look to move him during the season. Trade deadline's in February. So what do you give up for a Trae Young? You have Tyler Hero, Norman Powell, and Davion Mitchell in the backcourt already. You already have Kasparis Jonas, who's your rookie. I said it in the beginning of this episode, you guys, and I said it yesterday in my episodes. I love this team as is. But if a guy like Trae Young is available, a guy that averages 24 points a game, 11.5 assists, he's an incredible facilitator. I can imagine Trae Young on the court with guys like Bam Adebayo and Khalil Ware. He will evolve their game. But the question is, what do you trade for him? Now the Miami Heat, you guys, they're literally right under the first apron line. So they need to make a trade that keeps them under the first apron line. I'm sure that's what they're going to want to do. So they're not going to try to take back more money than what they're sending out. So you can do a trade package. You can throw Atlanta expiring contracts. You can try to offer them Andrew Wiggins, Terry Rozier. Maybe you can throw in a Norman Powell. You can throw in young assets like Jaime Jaquez, Nikola Jovic, maybe a future first-round draft pick, just one. I'm not saying all those players. I'm saying packages surrounding these players. Maybe take Wiggins and Rozier and Jaquez, and then take back Trae Young and another player for a cap relief. But if you really want Atlanta to hit the submit button, you're going to do a trade package surrounding Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero and Trae Young are in similar contracts. They have 2 years left. Trae has a player option, Tyler does not. But they're both coming up for contract extensions. So the question is, who would you rather pay? Tyler Hero or Trae Young? That is the biggest question. If you ask me, you guys, I'm willing to trade for Trae Young as long as the trade package is not a fleece. You know, if it's Tyler Hero, Nikola Jovic, Jaime Jaquez, if they want a bunch of young assets and multiple draft picks, no, I prefer to keep Tyler. But if you're telling me that it's a trade package surrounding Tyler Hero, Terry Rozier for cap relief, and a future first-round draft pick, if that's all it takes to get Trae Young, then yeah, I'm open to it. I'm going to say this again for people that are going to be in the comments saying, oh, how can you trade Tyler Hero? I don't want to trade Tyler Hero. I've said this multiple times. I love this roster. This roster is good to go. But if there's a way to upgrade the roster, why wouldn't you at least entertain that notion? So I want to hear from you guys. If Trae Young becomes available for trade, should the Miami Heat explore it? And if it costs Tyler Hero, would you do it? Because the real question is, who would you prefer? Tyler Hero or Trae Young on this roster? Numbers show that Trae Young is the better player, but I think Tyler still has great upside. So I want to hear from you, Heat Nation. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for the continued support. Don't forget my daughter Maya vote my daughter Maya for Toddler of the Year. Today's the final day. And until next time, your boy Ernest out, and that is enough said.